Okay, hey, my name is Anand, and today I'm gonna yap about a lot of things that have been eating my brain lately. Things like job, the internet, dating, loneliness, and how everything feels kind of off. More specifically, I want to talk about how the way we date now and how the way we find jobs are like weirdly similar. Well, I want to talk about how internet gave us this illusion of choice, that left us a lot more lost than we were ever before. And I also want to talk about why our generation feels so emotionally fried. Well, most importantly, I'll also share my solution on how we can, maybe fix this on a personal level. Let's start with part one, which is changing patterns in dating and jobs. Okay, let's start with dating. Something nobody really talks about is the start. The people who have had more partners before marriage are more likely to end up feeling unhappy in their marriage. And if like statistically speaking, if you have dated like three people before the age of 21, so by the age of 30, most likely you would have had like 10 partners. And the thing with that is, the people like these end up struggling with long term satisfaction. And it's not about morality or whatever, but it's about, jumping from one person to another kind of rewires your brain and to expect like this constant novelty. And that starts making you feel like real love is boring or hard, or like whenever anything is inconvenient, you just dip, you just straight move out of from it. And I think like when you look at the job market, it's the same thing there. Like finding a job right now, it feels like dating but on hard mode. You apply to like 500 places and they all basically ghost you, or maybe you do get in and it's all toxic. You barely get paid enough to pay your rent, and like stuff, everything around you is like so goddamn expensive because inflation and economics. I don't know. In a way, we all kind of got stuck in this loop of like really high expectation but really low satisfaction, and then just constant hopping from one thing to another, and hopes for getting that satisfaction. In a way, we are all like looking for the one, whether be it like love or on LinkedIn, like job or whatever. Well, part two is the algorithmic illusion of choice. What's causing all this? Like, why does everything feel like a performance? And to be honest, the answer is the algorithm. Not just your feed, but also like in your head. Like, we are constantly being shown better people, like better jobs, better lives. So our standards keep going up and like up and up, and at some point they kind of stop being real. Think about it. Like most people, their idea of an ideal partner, like now it's kind of a collection of traits that they found online. And like same with how they see themselves too. There's this thing called self objectification, where people kind of start looking at themselves as like a product to sell rather than just a human being. That's why people feel like they're not attractive enough or like successful enough, or like they don't have their stuff together, especially teenagers. Like social media have like destroyed their self-esteem because it constantly make you compare yourself with like other people who have portrayed this picture perfect life and picture perfect things and partners and everything. And the thing is, it makes you want more stuff, whether be it money, looks, clout, materialistic things, while making you feel less worthy for it. Stuff which is, to be honest, quite unrealistic after some point. Part 3 is the mental health pandemic. So here it's where like everything kind of come together. Understand that everyone's lonely, everyone's tired, and like everyone's doubting themselves. I genuinely believe that we are heading towards a massive mental health wave. Like if you notice, especially right now, men in their like mid to late 20s, they feel directionless and unwanted. And like women in their mid 30s, they feel like emotionally burned out and like disappointed from relationships and stuff. Like it is already happening. Like depression is rising, anxiety is rising, And to be honest, nobody really knows how to sit with themselves anymore because we are all taught to chase, right? Nothing really feels real anymore. Part 4, my solution. So, like, what do we do now? Like, are we gonna stay burned out forever? I mean, not really. I think there's a way out of it, and like I'm not talking about some random productivity hack or anything like that. It's more like a shift on how you see the world. One of the things that I want you to understand is stop outsourcing your standards. Like sit with yourself and like ask, do you really want this, or it's something that you just saw on Instagram and thought it was cool and like now you want it? Like apply this principle on like everything, whether be it the job that you want or partners or goals, like everything. Think about it. Do you like really want it, or it just it was fed to you by the algorithm? Another thing is depth over novelty. Like just for example, just pick one or two people and like go deep with them, like really nurture them, really develop a really deep bond with them, rather than having like 100 friends whom you barely talk to. Same with like just pick one craft or like one project and like be obsessed with it, like just go deep into it. Try to suck less in it, because to be honest, everyone sucks at their stuff. Like even I suck at making videos. I'm literally reading kind of like a script so I don't forget and like kind of wander off speaking random stuff. But yeah, I guess death is hard, but it's the only thing that is real. Another suggestion which I truly believe in is create more than you consume. You just make something, make music or just write down your thoughts or build some random app or like doodle, but like do anything. And the best thing that you can do is just make something and put it out there in the world, like as yours. It doesn't matter if no one sees it or anything. That's not the point. Imagine it like this. For example, you have a water tank that keeps filling up, but if you don't utilize the water in that water tank, like watering the plants or like doing the dishes or anything, then it's only gonna get wasted. It's only gonna flow out of it and get wasted. Then there's no point of it, just filling it with so much water and not using it. So the point is to use as much water as you can, create more than you consume, create a lot more than anything, to be honest. My fourth suggestion would be, like to understand and accept that small is enough. I know, but like understand that you don't need to go viral or you don't need like 100 friends. Small things like someone complimented you or you complimented someone, or like you read a good joke or something like that which made you laugh, or like you talk to that one person who gets you, like that is more than enough. You don't need a lot of things to be happy, because happiness at the end of the day is a choice. That's what I believe. You choose to be happy, and once you choose it, like you will just find happiness everywhere regardless. My fifth solution would be emotional resilience. Learn to journal, learn to write your thoughts down, learn to cry, learn to be bored, learn to fail and like still keep going. It's about building your inner foundation, building a really strong fort. So like when your life starts falling apart or when like bad shit happens, like you don't fall apart, you still stay strong. You need to build that inner fort, a really strong one. And my last suggestion would be to understand that there's no perfect outcome. Today's generation is so hyper focused on having this perfect plan. They need to really like hear this, that plans are bullshit. Like life's gonna throw random shit at you, and like you'll have to figure it out like spontaneously, like one step at a time. That's the truth. Like no matter how much you plan stuff, things never really go the way you wish it to. So the best thing that you can do is just figure out one step at a time, but do have a really clear goal. That helps a lot. There's this line that I wrote that stuck with me for a through all the chaos, which is In the depths of uncertainty is where brilliance is born. You need to understand that you don't have to know everything. You don't have to be everything. You just need to stay in it. You just need to take one step at a time. You know, whether be it small or whether be it big, just one step at a time. Well, I was yapping until I noticed that my camera stopped recording. This happens like every time when I really get into yapping. I don't want to say like and subscribe and like comment and stuff, because that is like pure cringe. I don't want to do that. I love this format of being like super conversational and stuff. I love the rawness of it. I just love how I can get in front of the camera and yap without trying to portray a character or anything. I can be just me. I guess that's it for now. You might see me yap again in the next video, hopefully next week. Yeah, bye.